Hi everybody, my name's Arthur Mosley. My wife and I own the Pasco and Hillsborough offices of Griswold Home Care. And our friends at Seniors in Service have asked me to visit with you a little bit today to talk about a problem that has been affecting us across the country for some time and has only gotten worse during these last few months as we have dealt with the COVID-19 virus. The challenge is senior isolation. Now, before we look at the topic at hand, let me start by underlining the importance of the issue. Regardless of age, all of us need to balance 5 things: proper nutrition, and that includes hydration; physical exercise, and that includes aerobic strengthening and also flexibility or stretching type exercises; spiritualization, involvement with something bigger than you and me; mental exercise or mental stimulation; and last but not least, socialization or connection to others. Now, in terms of the latter, we are all social beings. Some of us may be introverts, some of us may be extroverted, but we all need to spend some time connecting with other people. Now, letting any of these 5 areas get out of balance, including not spending enough time with other human beings, can be very harmful to our overall well-being. That gets us to social isolation. It is defined as a state of complete or near complete lack of contact between an individual and the rest of society or other people. This differs from general loneliness, which reflects temporary and involuntary lack of contact with other humans in the world. Now, the major differences between social isolation and general loneliness center on those 2 words, temporary and involuntary. Now, why is it a problem? Well, recent studies have found that social isolation significantly increased a person's a person's risk of premature death from all causes, and that risk may rival smoking, obesity, and physical inactivity. Social isolation was associated with about a 50% increase in the risk for dementia, particularly Alzheimer's. Now, by the way, social isolation can happen at any age. Spending too much time alone increases the risk of suicide for young and old alike. Lonely individuals report higher levels of perceived stress, even when exposed to the same stressors as non-lonely people, and even when they are relaxing. Long-term feelings of loneliness and social isolation can also reduce cognitive skills, such as the ability to concentrate, make decisions, problem solve, and even change negative self-beliefs, and can ultimately lead to depression. Now, looking at seniors specifically, in the U.S., social isolation impacts approximately 24% of older adults, or approximately 9 million people. Now, those 9 million people have a unique set of isolating dynamics. First, natural aging increases our frailty. We take longer to bounce back from illnesses. This can result in us not going out into public and seeing friends and neighbors because we just can't get out there, or we're afraid to get out there. At some point, we shouldn't be driving. If we don't have alternate forms of transportation, then we are stuck at home and at the mercy of people coming to visit us. Absent or involved relatives or children, economic struggles, those 2 can also add to the feeling of social isolation. Now, among the elderly, childlessness itself can be a cause for social isolation, whether their child is deceased or they don't even have children at all. The loneliness that comes from not having a child can be a contributor. Retirement's a big one. The abrupt end of daily work relationships, the death of close friends or spouses can also contribute to social isolation. And last but 2 more would be hearing loss and dementia. Both of those can have an impact. So what are some things that we can do to address this problem? In-person contact is the best solution. Next best is some form of video chat. And last but certainly very important are periodic phone calls. Let's take a quick look at each one of these. Let's look at in-person first. Some churches have organized visiting programs. Meals on Wheels is an excellent option. They assign a volunteer to visit you once a week, dropping off food and checking in to make certain you're okay. Seniors in Service also has a volunteer visiting program. They recruit volunteers that are 55 and over to visit other seniors. They come for a few hours to serve as a companion, helping isolated homebound elders or veterans live independently with dignity in their own home. Now, if you go to Seniors in Services website, you can read the story of one volunteer that assisted a man that had had a stroke and couldn't communicate very well. And this is a really, this example gives you a good flavor for what the whole program can accomplish. Ashleen was the name of the volunteer. She visited Mr. Jones several times each week, helping him write, read, and reminding him of words that he had forgotten. When Ashleen wrote letters on his behalf, she would have him rewrite them. When Ashleen read to him, he would repeat the words and the story along with her. All of these things trying to help him get back from his stroke and see if he could regain some of his independence and relearn some activities that he'd done for years. Now, when Ashleen wrote letters on his behalf, she would have him rewrite them, as we said. But also, she would also help Mr. Jones in going to the grocery store for him. Now, since he couldn't write, he made a grocery list by drawing pictures of the items that he needed. She often would have to guess what the items were before she brought them back to him. Now, this is a great program for both the isolated senior and the volunteer. The one receiving the help gets what they need to sort of help remain independent, and the one giving the help finds a new purpose by helping others. It's a great volunteering effort, particularly like if you're trying to just move out of retirement and you're looking for something to do and a way to give back and still maintain some contact with other people on a regular basis. Now, there are two other options you might want to consider to try to have someone in your home, someone to connect with. One of those is hiring a professional caregiver. That's what we provide at Griswold Home Care. And then another one is actually moving into an assisted living type setting. Now, I know most people want to stay at home, but there are some really good assisted livings out there of all sizes. And there are also, when I say all sizes, there are some smaller 4 to 6 bed communities that are very much like being at home. And the group there becomes a whole new family to you in a much smaller setting. So those are two or three other ideas of how you can work against or address social isolation from the standpoint of being somewhere somewhat in person. Now, shifting gears to video, Amazon, Facebook, Google all have products that facilitate talking to one another via the phone or via your computer so that you can see the other person you are talking to. Now, this isn't the same as being there in person, but at least you get to see their face and read their expressions. Considering how so much of communication is nonverbal, this is a good alternative for those that cannot handle for those that can actually handle the technology. Now, there are also other tablet-based programs like Granddad and GrandCare that can provide services above and beyond just video conferencing and video chatting. I would strongly recommend, if you got an interest in that, if you look both of those websites up, Google them, Bing them, Granddad and GrandCare. Now, a lot of folks, though, just can't handle the technology of video conferencing. So in addition, in a COVID environment, it just may not be appropriate to have people in your home or risk the effort of having other people there where they may spread or bring in COVID-19. So for many, the best way to connect each week is via a simple phone call. Some churches have their own programs for this. The Crisis Center has 211 has a special program for those that are very much at risk for suicide or need somebody to talk to. But the program we want to talk to and highlight today, and the primary reason for this video, is Seniors in Services Telepal program. Now, early this year, due to the COVID outbreak, Seniors in Service had to put the in-person program on hold. So to address the isolation problem in a COVID environment, they created Telepal. As it turned out, this had an added benefit that more people could be served via phone and more volunteers could participate. So if you visit the Seniors in Services website, this is what you'll read. Stay socially connected while keeping your distance. Telepals keep people socially connected through telephone reassurance. Regular calls say, you have a friend who cares. Participate in friendly chats on a regular schedule that are convenient to both of you. Build relationships, engage with each other, be supportive to others, and find connection. One phone call could be the start of a long-time relationship. So gang socialization is powerful. Connecting with others can strengthen the immune system, reduce blood pressure, increase brain health, stave off or slow down some dementias, decrease the feelings of depression, and above all, increase the overall quality of life for all of those participating. So that brings us to the end of our presentation. Hopefully you have a new appreciation for the need for socialization, the impact of not having balance in this area, particularly for seniors, some of the causes of senior isolation, and some of the solutions, including Seniors in Services volunteer program, and even more importantly, their TelePAL program. For more information on senior isolation and the Seniors in Services programs, I refer you to their website at seniorsinservice.org, or you can call them at 813-932-5228. From all of us at Griswold Home Care and Seniors in Service, thank you and have a great day.